Hey guys, um, I want to talk about something that I found, something called Camp 7. It's a top secret program run by the CIA through Guantanamo Bay, where nobody knows the location of the camp. Okay, but I also found this Gitmo matrix of threat indicators for enemy combatants. And remember, Trump kept talking about enemy combatants and military tribunals. And we thought that meant one thing, but I think it has to do with this. Surrender or captured on the front lines following hostilities, travel for or shows commitment to violate this. I don't want to say it. Non-cooperative at Gitmo. Attempted U.S. entry through legal means but denied, especially with a poorly developed story. But that's not the one I want to show you. Here we go. All the way down the detainee documents. This one. This one. Okay. So, I talked about this earlier, and there's a lot of information here. A lot of it you can't click on anymore. It's been taken down. But here's the 22 children of Guantanamo. And why are they holding children? I don't know. But presenting evidence that 12 juveniles have been held. And it was officially acknowledged by the Pentagon. They can't count 22 held. Sometimes this number changes. And then we have a top Pentagon official saying they aren't children. Here we go. Donald Rumsfeld told a press conference this constant refrain of the juveniles as though there's 100 children in there. These are not children. I mean, he's saying they're not children, but I had to explain a long time ago that they can bring you in as a child born in another country seeking asylum and then pretend on paper that you're an unaccompanied minor. Okay? And then use you as a financial instrument, which is all those records I found. I showed the records where my mom and my dad were signing my name. There were a bunch of false marriages. I mean, there were just so many things. And these are not children. I would say, despite their age, these are very, very dangerous people. They're people that have been vetted mainly in Afghanistan and gone through a process to determine what their involvement was. Some have stated they're all going to, and they may be juveniles, but they're not on a little league team anywhere, because they're targeted individuals. So what I discovered through looking at this is that the way the military uses some of these, I put one up and I took it down. And they're in Guantanamo for a very good reason, for our safety, for your safety. Okay, they do all of these things through, national safety by putting children and adults, they're pretending to be children, in clinical trials, clinical studies without the consent. And anyone who watched my other channel knows what happened to me. So what they're doing here, okay, so there's no international standard concerning the age of an individual who engages in combat. But I met with Immigration Court. I've been meeting with them, trying to find my own records. And they said that I was arrested in 2008. I got a recording of the man that said I was arrested for drug trafficking in Miami. So if you look in Miami, when you're detained permanently by the federal government, it's called Chrome detention. So look up Chrome. Chrome Detention Center. And then it says Chrome, Miami Chrome detained. All right, for public health and other purposes. So this address is attached. This address is one of the addresses I've seen on this wiki page, but I've also seen some other addresses that are attached to Miami Management International, which I tried to tell you guys in the middle of COVID. I found something called Miami Management International, where there was a white little girl that it appeared that they were, I don't know what they were doing with her, but there was a photograph of her with Miami Management International. So there's a lot of LLCs. I've told you about them. There's one called Cinderella LLC, where you're kept in America without rights. It's certain types that they're keeping, certain genetic codes, certain bloodlines. One is called Dying to be Green, DYEING, to be green, like green card. And the other one I told you before is called, and these are 3 LLCs of an organization. I'm not sure what the organization is. It looks to be that the Brady Doctrine is a pre-trial discovery rule that was established by the United States Supreme Court in Brady v. Maryland in 1963. The rule requires that the prosecution must turn over all exculpatory evidence to the defendant in a criminal case that might exonerate the defendant. So what they do is, through military tribunals, hold people for crimes they didn't commit, crimes they couldn't have committed, because they're using all of these aliases. So when you go into here and you search, let me see if I can do it, aliases in Guantanamo. That's not it. It's weird. I don't know how to search on here, but a bunch of these documents that I've seen said to dehumanize the people being detained, they strip you of your name, your legal name, and they just use other names. So on the record, I found my father's friend, John Martin, being detained. John Martin works for the FBI. So I just think at this point, they just use a bunch of different names. Let's see. There's 51 pickup, Area 51. There's a lot of codes in this too. 201 men. 201 is the number of the pandemic. It's the number of Lasky Clinic where I was injured. 201 is the number of child court in some of the different places I've gone. And you guys know that I get information in a way that is neither understandable to me or I don't know how I get the information. I sleep, I wake up, the information is in my mind, to go to a location. I don't even know what I'm looking for when I first get there. I go to the location, the information will, it will tell me where to go, but not what it is. And that's how I found all the detention documents. So, it's not a voice either. I was trying to describe it to somebody. I don't predict things or anything. I mean, I used to see things before they would happen when I was a little girl. And, I had certain things that I could do that other people couldn't do, but I didn't know it was weird. I just thought it was, I don't know if it's telepathy where you can move objects or levitate or whatever, or if it's just certain people are, they're kind of like an open channel, and they have good energy coming into them, and then that helps them to have certain information. I don't know. Some people tell me the information is coming directly from God or other people that were injured. I don't know where the information comes from, to be honest with you. It's a mystery to me how I would know certain government things that they're doing. All right, I was going to show you something here, but this camp, let me see if I can find Camp 7 just to show you. Camp 7 is a top secret program where they don't know the location. So what I think they're doing, I don't know. Oh, maybe down here. Social media boot camp. I kept finding the word camp and internment camp on a bunch of documents. Camp X. X is the detainee. Let me show you this. Okay, look up Camp 7 CIA PDF. And CIA was listed on my documents. Obstacles to torture rehabilitation. Torture techniques at Camp 7 where they're held. But they're saying it is prolonged arbitrary detention and torture at Camp 7. Okay. So they always use these names, but they're just using a bunch of aliases, which I was trying to show you. I mean, they admitted to using aliases in that. So the term, the government conveniently ignores the history of HVD, the meaningless holdover from the term CIA custody to DOD custody, and then I found documents where DOD was transferring custodial rights of detainees in Guantanamo Bay to Afghanistan, where they were. And that was what I was talking about before. So the women are in a Western world, not knowing they're detained, have no legal rights, don't know they were removed, don't know they came from somewhere else, and then they pass them over to an Islamic